back at AHR, day 2. Dave Yates with Contractor Magazine, and today I'm with TACO's national trainer, John Barber. John, AHR is known for innovation and new products, so what's new at TACO?
Oh boy, that's a loaded question. We've got an awful lot of really kind of new and pretty slick stuff. Show you?
Sure, absolutely.
We'll start over here. You'll note the nomenclature here, the 00E series. For decades, TACO has had the 00 series of fixed-speed circulators, standard permanent split capacitor motors.
Right.
007, of course, being the industry standard. Well, with we all understand that there'll be new regulations coming in the next 5 years or so regarding circulator efficiency. To be ahead of the curve and to help facilitate what we're calling our relentless pursuit of zero, we're branding our ECM circulators as the 00E series, starting with what was known as the VR1816. It's still known as the VR1816, but it's part of the 00E series. This is our first collaboration with our new partners, and actually our new acquisition in Italy called Ascol. Just last few weeks, TACO has finalized a purchase of Ascol in Milan, a European circulator manufacturer, and one of the originators of ECM technology. They are now part of the TACO group. This is our first collaboration with Ascol, and the VR1816 is a really cool pump. It is well. This is how you program the circulator. It is a what would be called a Delta P variable speed circulator with an ECM technology motor, and you have 3 separate settings. You have proportional Delta P that has kind of that inclining pump curve, whereas flow goes down, head pressure differential created by the circulator goes down. Perfect for your thermostatic radiator valve applications. That's what proportional Delta P was invented for, what it's intended for. So you have 3 settings, low, medium, and high speed for those thermostatic radiator valve panel radiator jobs. Then you have constant Delta P, or constant pressure mode, where basically you have a flat curve pump. It's a variable speed flat curve pump, and you have your choice of 5 foot ahead, 10 foot ahead, or 15 foot ahead max. This is your zone valve application. Whether you have a radiant floor heating job with manifold actuators, or simply a series loop baseboard job with standard zone valves, you would use the parallel, or the constant pressure ECM mode for that.
Very good match with your 1 watt zone valve.
Excellent match with the 1 watt zone valves, absolutely. And then over here, this is the really cool part. This is like a volume dial for the circulator. You can set any fixed speed that you want, from minimum, which is roughly the equivalent of a 003 circulator, all the way up to the max speed, which is basically a 0015 3-speed pump with high speed. And you can set it anywhere in there for the right combination of flow and head that you need. Now, this is your zone pumping application. And one of the challenges with zone pumping is it's impossible in many cases to find a circulator that is in fact small enough.
Right.
Oftentimes, even a 007, your flow and head requirements are way down here, even for a good size zone, but the pump curve is way up here. So the system's never going to work here. It's going to work way the heck up here for more flow and more head pressure than you really need. The problem really there is more flow. So the more flow you have over what you really need, the smaller the system delta T is going to be, and that's going to lead to short cycle.
Right.
What this will allow you to do is, if you got a zone that has 2 gallons a minute, 2 feet ahead, that's still a 20,000 BTU zone. You can dial this sucker down right to that point where, under design conditions, it'll give you 2 gallons a minute at 2 feet ahead and won't be oversized. And that to me is a really cool element for guys who zone pump.
Hey, we're back with John Barber, and we want to talk about domestic hot water recirculation. So, John, take it away.
All right. Actually, officially, we've rebranded it as instant hot water, because when you try to appeal to a homeowner, if you say domestic hot water recirculation, they look at you like, huh? What do I need to recirculate my domestic hot water for? I don't understand.
Instant milk. Instant oatmeal.
Instant hot water.
Instant hot water.
Right.
I got it.
So a challenge, though, that we face is people say, well, why don't I just get one of those instant water heaters? Not really understanding that makes hot water instantly here, but we still got to get it there. Right? It doesn't magically beam over there.
On a large house, you have to have 27 of those instant hot water.
Exactly, if you don't want to wait for hot water.
Right.
I don't know, when I'm getting ready to get in the shower, I don't want to wait, right?
Just patience.
No, I just, can you imagine me standing there naked like this?
That's an image I didn't really need to have burned into my brain this morning.
I just ruined you for the day then, didn't I? All right. back to reality. What we have is a pretty complete line of domestic hot water recirculation options for all different kinds of applications and all different kinds of needs. We tend to break the market up into different categories. You have one end of the industry that says, I just need to check it off the checklist. The code says I have to have domestic hot water recirculation. Just give me something so I can say I have domestic hot water recirculation.
Okay.
That would be like our plumb and plug circulator. Move that over there. Plumb and plug is a timer. It's a simple timer, and you set it when you want it to run. Okay, so between 6 and 9 in the morning, between 7 and 9 at night, that's when I use most of my hot water. That's when I want it to run. If I use hot water any other time, it's not running. Okay. It's simple, it's inexpensive, and it gets the checkbox filled.
Right.
Okay. Moving up on the list, we have the people who just want to check it off the checklist. On the other end, you have people who say, I don't care how much it costs to operate, I don't care how much it costs to install, I don't want to wait for hot water ever. Oddly enough, the solution is the same.
I'm just 24/7.
Yeah, you just set this timer to run all the time, 24/7, and it'll run. You need a dedicated return line in both cases, but it's the same. Oddly enough, it is the same solution.
And you can do that through the switch right here.
Yeah, just flip the switch.
Manual on.
Yeah, manual on, and she runs 24/7. You're always going to have domestic hot water. Now, it's going to use the most electricity. It's going to use make the water heater work harder than it really needs to. But again, for that particular market, not a problem. Exactly. For the big middle, we have a variety of different options to kind of help solve their problems. Yeah, I don't want to wait for domestic hot water, but I kind of do care how much it costs. I kind of don't want to waste a lot of energy. I don't want the water heater to work harder than it needs to, and I don't want to waste water down the drain. So we have a variety of different options there that are kind of unique in the industry. Let's start over here.
Okay.
This is the Smart Plus. What the Smart Plus does is it actually has, I'm not going to say adaptive intelligence, but it does have the ability to learn your hot water usage patterns. It has a little bit of a brain to it. When you install it, what it'll do for the first week of installation is it goes into what it calls a learning mode. Okay. Turn it on, it goes into a learning mode. It pulses, it runs for 2.5 minutes, then it's off for 10. 2.5 on, 10 off. 2.5 on, 10 off. It does that for the entire week. So you always will have the hot water when you want it. While all that's going on, there is a sensor that is connected here that is strapped onto the supply water line going out of the mechanical room. What that sensor does is it measures or records an event. And a hot water event would be taking a shower. Any kind of a prolonged temperature rise, run, and then drop. Right? So it measures an event. So say you get up Monday morning, 6 o'clock, and you take a shower. This thing today, Dave took a shower at 6 in the morning. I'm going to remember that. What it'll do is it'll register that, and it'll register when you take a shower on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All the hot water events for that week are logged. The next week, it stops the automatic pulsing, and it goes into the performance mode. So what it'll do is it'll shut off after that first week, and then let's say at 5:30, it says, hey, Dave was going to take a shower at 6, I think. I'm going to start pulsing. So it'll go into that 2.5 on, 10 off, 2.5 on, 10 off mode in anticipation of your shower. You'll do that for a period of 1 hour. So when you get up to take a shower, bam, you're good.
I got hot water.
And it does this every day. And on top of that, it constantly relearns. So say you don't get up at 6 on Monday, that following Monday, you get up at 6:30, you take a shower at 7. So Dave changed it up on me. Next week, I'm going to start going at 6:30 instead of 5:30. And it'll constantly relearn. It has vacation mode to it. It says there's no hot water event for a period of 36 hours. It shuts down, and then it'll just run for a few seconds every couple, 3 days, and just make sure it doesn't seize up. But it'll learn that. And then when you come back at the next hot water event, it starts all over again. So it's got adaptive intelligence, minimal electrical consumption for permanent split capacitor.
Also, no problem with daylight savings time.
No, not at all. You never. That's one of the things with anything you have to program. Daylight savings time, you got to go back and reprogram it, and nobody ever does that. So this thing just it has an unquenchable thirst for knowledge about your personal habits. Let me rephrase that. I mean, yeah, there you go. It just wants to know everything about what you're doing, so it can always make sure you have hot water.
What's the Smart Plug?
Well, Smart. Let me get to. Can I do the Hot Link Plus first?
Sure.
Hot Link Plus is similar. The Smart Plus requires a dedicated return line. Now, in a retrofit application, that's impossible. You can't do it, right?
Right.
So what the Hot Link Plus is designed to do, it's designed to work with an under-sink crossover valve for retrofit applications. So you can go to the farthest fixture away, install this under the sink, and then you have the same Smart Plus technology built into the circulator with a slight variation. Its pulse mode is 5 minutes on, 10 minutes off. Simply because we got a little bit more pressure drop through this valve, it needs to run a little bit longer to make sure we get the hot water. That's the key difference. But in terms of intelligence, in terms of technology, and in terms of making sure we have a package that works well together, the Hot Link Plus with the Hot Link crossover valve, it's really a great marriage. And the cool thing about the Hot Link Plus crossover valve is it's field serviceable. You don't have to uninstall it or take it out to service it. It simply has a little cartridge right
For a strainer.
Yeah, for a strainer. You don't have to take anything apart. Just shut the water off, unscrew it, clean it out, put it back in, and you're back to it. Smart plug. I'm glad you asked about the smart plug. This thing is kind of cool. For a plumb and plug type of circulator, this thing has a line cord, right? For a plumb and plug circulator. Well, what if you wanted to add this level of intelligence, Smart Plus level of intelligence to a plumb and plug circulator? You could take out the circulator and put it in the circulator, or Smart Plug. What the Smart Plug does is it plugs into the wall outlet ahead of the circulator, and then you plug the circulator into here. And now all of the intelligence that's in the Smart Plus circulator is now available for the for the plumb and plug circuit. And then you have your sensor here, etc., and it's fuse protected, and you can change the operating mode all right here. So, same circulator. You don't have to replace the circulator if you want that more intelligent.
Jobs that are already out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, this thing is. I mean, again, it's a simple thing. It couldn't be much easier.
There you go.
And then the last we talked earlier about the instant hot water heaters. Or instant water heaters. You can't have hot water heaters. Yeah, that's not a hot water, it's water. The TACO Genie is designed specifically to be a recirc pump for instant water heaters, tankless type water heaters. Those things, when they enable, what turns them on? Flow, right? What the Genie does is it's specifically designed for that type of an application because it only turns on when you want it to. It's either manually enabled with a push button, either wired or wireless, or with a motion sensor. You can have an automatic motion sensor. So you walk into the bathroom, you break the beam with a motion sensor, the Genie comes on. Now the Genie's a really high head pump. This is important. With a tankless water heater, you have a high head loss heat exchanger generally. And you want to get water to that sink fast. So what this thing is, being a high head circulator, typically a 008 is normal. What it does is it's sized big enough so it'll overcome the head loss of the heat exchanger, but also get hot water there pronto. What we want to do is evacuate that hot water line of colder tepid water as fast as we can. 8, 10, 12 seconds, get it bang, get it there. And then we just want to get that line primed so that when you're ready to use the hot water, we're there. Now the thing is with the circulator, it's not going to run for very long. In each instance, we have a sensor here on the return side that picks up a temperature rise. So as soon as the water, water temperature goes up 5, maybe 10 degrees, it's adjustable. It'll actually turn the pump off. So we're not running the pump unnecessarily. So in terms of electrical consumption, this thing is nothing. And in terms of making sure the water heater works as efficiently as possible without making it work harder than it needs to, it's the most efficient. It's great. We did it again, brother.
Back to AHR. Thanks, John Barba.
Thank you very much, sir.
No.